I want Clay's jacket. A second.
Hello, everybody. Recording live from somewhere.
Lord of the mercy, all night Sunday Central. Follow me now, listen, say I think yes you're rolling hip hop. Say job, redefinition, say you're rolling hip hop. Say like so, cause we're rocking up from the first to the last.
Welcome back. We're at CrossFit RVA in Richmond, Virginia. I'm Jackie. This is Brandon. We're doing episode 17 of Movement RVA, and we're continuing our open series with how to fix your toes to bar. Boom! All right, so we're gonna break down the toes to bar into different problems. So the first thing is the down kip. So this is when you hit the toes to bar and then you're actively swinging your legs down instead of just dropping them. So Brandon's gonna demonstrate just dropping your legs and why this is an issue. So hop up on the bar. So when he brings his legs up, it just drops them. It's hard, he has no momentum to get back up there. So now demonstrate the right way. So he's actively pushing his legs down to get them back up for that movement. So the next thing we're gonna go over is just the kip in general. So a lot of people think that the kip is the same as the pull-up kip, but it's not. They're totally different movements. The kip for the toes to bar, you don't wanna push too far back. You wanna keep it pretty close to within the rig. So demonstrate the bad kip where you're pushing back too far. So this is, he's pushing his body way far back. He's trying to get his body up level with the bar, and that's making his toes to bar much less efficient, is fatiguing your shoulders. What we're gonna do now is the correct kip, which is a much more narrow grip, and it's focusing more of the movement in your hips rather than in your shoulders. So as you can see, he's not moving very far back in the rig. He's kind of staying pretty much under the bar and using his hips and his legs for the toes to bar, not so much the pull back. The other issue a lot of people have is keeping their head neutral. So most people are staring up at their hands rather than keeping their head straight, which is bad body position, not only in your spine, but also for the toes to bar. Wherever your head is looking, that's where your body's gonna go, and it's just gonna make for a really odd movement. So first demonstrate staring up at your hands. So he's gonna look straight up at his hands and see how his body position is really bad in his neck. He's starting to move around on the bar too much. When you keep your head neutral, you're keeping a good spine, body position, and as well as more efficient on the lift. So go ahead. So he's keeping his head straight, just stare straight ahead of it, and keeping his head neutral. All right, the last problem a lot of people have or think that this is more efficient, but really it's not, is keeping your legs straight on the toes to bar. So a lot of people do the knees up flick motion instead of keeping their legs straight. And people think this is more efficient, but more so it's an issue with their mobility in their hips and they can't do straight legs. So Brandon's gonna demonstrate bringing his knees up and flicking, and then we're gonna demonstrate doing it with straight legs. So he's bringing his knees up and flicking, and that seems efficient, but after a lot of toes to bar, you're just using too much energy to get your legs up there. Instead of using that down motion with your legs when they're straight is much easier. So hop up. So he's bringing his legs straight down, and then he has much more momentum when his legs are straight to get them back up there. This is a lot of problems. This is the down leg, the down kip, the kip in general, as well as keeping your legs straight. So we're gonna have Brandon demonstrate this. You're gonna hop up on the bar, and he's gonna practice that same kip that we talked about, that narrow kip with his legs straight and bringing his legs to 90 degrees, focusing on that downward kip. And this could be a good warm-up. You'll do about 2 to 3 sets of 15 during warm-up. Another good warm-up motion is doing a partner kip. So this is when we're focusing on that kip, keeping it under the bar, but having a partner kind of guide you. So hop up. So I'm gonna keep my hands about where he should be hitting, and then he'll push back as he hits my hands to keep that kip pretty small and under the bar. Again, you can do about 2 to 3 sets of 15 of this in a warm-up. a good movement to focus on during a workout or when you're doing toes to bar anytime is keeping your head neutral. And a good thing to do with this is just hop up on the bar, see where your line of sight is, and just stare at that while you're doing your toes to bar to keep your head neutral. The last thing is a good supplemental movement, and this is doing a hanging straight leg raise. So Brandon's gonna hop up on the bar, and he's gonna keep his legs straight, his body super still, and just bringing his legs as high as he can, ideally to the bar. But if you don't have enough strength yet in your hips or the mobility, you're just gonna bring them as high as you can, working on getting them higher and higher the more you do it. And this is something to do, again, supplementally, maybe do 2 to 3 sets of 10 of this movement. All right, that's it. Thanks for joining us. That was How to Fix Your Toes to Bar. We're at CrossFit RVA in Richmond, Virginia. I'm Jackie. This is Brandon. Tune in next week for our continued open series with episode 18, where we're going over rowing. Don't forget to subscribe to us at the Cityscape and follow us on social media. That's it. Peace. Is that right?
You said peace and you did this or something.
No, I did this.
Okay, I only saw it. And I was laughing.
Your shoulder.
I know.
Internally rotated. That's what I have to do.